This is a rim deadlock or a Jimmy proof. Okay. You're going to take it off and demonstrate how we're installing a new one. First thing you need to do, take the body from the inside. Once you take the lock body out, this is the rim cylinder what we showed you before. There's two screws with a plate that holds it in place. You're gonna have to remove that. Once you take it out, this is the rim cylinder what we are gonna replace. You're gonna take a brand new, different style of Jimmy proof lock. When you open a new rim cylinder, normally the tailpiece will be longer than the one you take off. The reason being is the company who sells it do not know on what kind of door you're going to be installing it and how thick the door would be. Normally you have to cut, there's notches on the tailpiece to cut one or two off. If you took a lock that was working just fine, that will be your good estimate. Put it on the table and you could see that I could cut probably 1, 2, 3 notches and I'll be about the same. 2 would be also good normally, 2 to 3 notches. So this is what we have to cut. The way you do that, you need 2 sets of pliers or vice grips. You hold it underneath the notch with one, the other one on top. You just bend it. You gotta make sure that you're doing it with 2 and you're not holding it like that and trying to bend it like that, because you're gonna snap the whole thing for the rim cylinder body. Same idea is with the screws. Normally the screws you're taking out will be shorter than the screws you're about to put. In this case, we have short screws, but normally screws will come slightly longer. You measure it, if it's the same, you're good to go. If you need to cut, we're going to demonstrate how to cut it. If you need to cut 1 notch, you go on top of the notch, just before the notch. You lock the vise on it, you can force it against the floor. Make sure not to ruin the threads. That's why we did it right before the notch begins. We're going to take a new rim cylinder, stuck the key in, we put it through a ring. We're going to hold it from the outside, stabilize it with the key halfway. We're going to put this to reinforce it, to hold it in place. We're going to put this little plate that comes with it with 2 holes. The holes have to match into the lock. Till he actually feels it, feel that it goes in. האמת זה לא כל כך מקצועי ככה, לעבוד עם כלים כאלה, נראה דבילי אבל אוקיי. I'm making sure while I'm installing it When the door is wide open, that one hand holds it so it doesn't move and rotate. I want to make sure that it's in the center out. I finished one screw. I'm putting the second screw now. Goes in. איזה כלים, מה זה תגיד לי? Okay, we finished tightening the screws. Cylinder is not moving anywhere. It's centered out. The tailpiece is already shortened. The two screws are the right size after we cut them. Now we're about to install the lock body. On some of them, there's like a plastic pin that's being held inside. Once you take it out, the shutter jumps back. There's a small pin that you have to depress inward, and only then you can press this little shutter back in. What we're gonna do right now, we're gonna install it here, we're gonna depress it. The idea is for the tailpiece to go back, to go exactly in the shaft, in the little slat. You put the screws in. I usually don't put all the screws, I put two. One top, one at the bottom on the other side. The reason being is because when you're installing it on customer's door, you might have to move it a little. So you don't want to close it all the way in. You want to adjust it along with the strike. We'll get to that in a second. We'll see how we do that. Okay, basically the installation is done. Locked, unlocked. This is a strike. The strike goes on the frame. The frame usually is 90 degrees like that, so you actually so normally it's easier to just put it on the door when it's locked, put it on the Jimmy proof, close the door. Let's say I'm inside the apartment right now. I'm closing it. This is the wall. The wall is 90 degrees. I'm locating it not all the way down, not all the way up, just in the center. Same thing, not in, not out, in the center as well. I mark with a pencil that hole, the top hole and the bottom hole. I take it out. I open the door. I have my marks on the frame. You could use a self-tapping screws or pre-drill it, install. You want to start with two, one top, one bottom. Make sure it's reinforced right. Close the door, make sure it aligns right. Lock. If everything goes good, you put the extra 3 screws. If not, feel free to bang on it. You could slightly tap on it. You could, if all you have to do is like 1/16 of an inch to move it in, out, up, down. You definitely, with 2 screws only out of 5, you can tap on it. And once you feel that it goes in the right way, only then you drill new holes, extra screws, and you reinforce it the right way. So basically, this is how you install a Jimmy proof lock.